Hi everyone, Teddy Baldassarre with TeddyBaldassarre.com. In this video, we're going to be looking at a watch with the Junghans Form A with a taupe dial. So in this video, we'll do a deeper dive looking at this timepiece. Also in the description will be some relevant links on where to purchase this watch on our website, TeddyBaldassarre.com, as well as some more information about this watch that we'll also cover in this video. And at the end, look at some things to consider when maybe looking in the direction of this timepiece. But guys, let's jump into the video, take a closer look at this watch. First, again, to run down the specs, we have a case size of 39.3 millimeters, thickness of 9.8 millimeters, lug width of 21 millimeters, lug to lug of 43.9 millimeters, water resistance of 50 meters, movement is an automatic ETA 2824-2, crystal is sapphire, and for price, we have two different options available. We actually have some pre-owned models for $796, and then for new price, $995. So we are an authorized dealer of Junghans watches. Just to give a little more context on the pre-owned models that we carry, so we're sourcing these directly from the brands. These are models that are going to be maybe used in the shop and have maybe very light signs of wear, but they just can't be restocked as new products. They're coming with a warranty and are all tested before being sent out, so amazing way to get this watch at a lesser price. But definitely go check out all the options we have on that pre-owned section, as we'll have quite a bit of different options there of this Form A collection. And when looking at the Maxbo collection, those are the models that are going to personify that mid-20th century Bauhaus design, of course, descending from the creation of Max Bill himself and what he was able to create from their wall clocks and transition that into a more regular wristwatch format. Now, these watches use that framework in some aspects while interjecting a bit of more modern flair in terms of what they're going for, and with its use of materials like sapphire and appealing to a more contemporary form, is a different offering, but also is very much at the core still Junghans. Now, when looking at this model, very clean looking taupe display with that dial surface and the lack of numerals on this one. But in terms of what is regular and across the board, across many of the Form A's, is going to be the case size and wearability. So this one coming in at 39.3 millimeters, and factoring in that lug-to-lug distance of just south of 44 millimeters, it's going to have this one wear pretty true to its overall size, if not a bit smaller, as the lugs are a bit more extended than the traditional Max Bills, which are notable for their more condensed lug design. These do have more of a traditional style that will extend out a little bit more and offer some presence. As the Max Bills are more catering to the idea of dress-oriented timepieces, these are leaning a bit heavier in the direction of the casual wearer. But overall, though, this should provide a ton of optionality in regards to many wrist sizes out there, from small all the way up to larger size wrists, depending on what you want this watch to really serve for you. Also, in regards to thickness, great flexibility there with this sliding under even the thinnest of dress cuffs at 9.8 millimeters with its flat sapphire crystal rested on top of the dial surface. The overall structure of the case profile is going to be bulbous in a way, so it's going to press into the wrist a bit more, and this is rather traditional across many Junghans watches, and will also allow the thickness to be seated on the wrist itself quite well. Between the lugs on this piece, we do have a lug width of 21 millimeters, which is going to perhaps limit the possibilities in regards to straps. Because this is going to be a taupe option, I think the selections that you'll have on a day-to-day basis might be a bit more limited compared to the more versatile silver white dials that you can find with the Form A collection. But in the past, I've had some luck with squeezing in 22 millimeter straps if it is less of a rigid style of leather, so no reptilian grain, but more of a traditional calfskin. You could have some luck there with squeezing those in. And in the past, I did have a promo for the Form A collection, so if you do buy it new, you can get a free strap with your purchase. Just put Form A at checkout, pick out any strap up to $50 with your purchase. So add the strap and the watch to your cart and you should be all good to go. Taking a closer look at the dial through the flat sapphire crystal with anti-reflective coating on the underside, we have a very simple dial design that deviates from the Meister and Maxbo collections quite a bit. At the 12 o'clock, the familiar printing of the brand's logo, and at the 3, a cleanly stepped date aperture that smoothly flows into the rest of the dial and doesn't feel as abrasive as many 3 o'clock date windows of dress watches on this particular piece. The thing I will add, though, the taupe dial surface compared to some of the silver dials, given the actual color of the date disc, might be a bit more distracting depending on what model you're looking for. The taupe dial surface works well underneath the light and doesn't reflect as much as some other dial variants from the brand, offering a clean aesthetic with great legibility. At the center of the dial, we have a blunted pair of stick hands containing superluminova and a thin second hand casting over the thin hour markers along the outside of the dial, and the pressed in minute markers, creating a small sunken area within each of those markers, and in the process provides some texture to an otherwise smooth surface. Flipping over the Form A, we have an open case back that is screwed in with 4 screws along the perimeter, but as you'll probably notice, we have a pretty unique display of this open case back here with a tinted crystal on the back. Now, I have found that the tinting of this crystal almost changes a bit across the different lines, with this one not as prominent as some of the others that I've seen. This tint is going to conceal the internal components a little bit, but you still can see the added 28-24-2 caliber ticking away with a bit of effort. Now, this move is probably not going to need any more of an introduction. It is the most ubiquitous Swiss caliber that you're going to find there out on the market. And it comes with great upside. It's going to be reliable. It's been in the market for years and years, and you will know what to expect once you have it in your watch. Reliability, nice serviceability, as well as ease of regulation, and pretty traditional specs. So 28,800 vibrations per hour, 4 Hertz, features hacking, so stopping the second hand when pulling out the crown to the farthest position, as well as hand winding at that first position, and has a power reserve of 38 hours. All right, so now to unpack looking at the Form A. And I know throughout this video I did mention the Max Bill and I mentioned the Meister collection, and I probably did this watch a bit of a disservice because I'm always comparing this watch to maybe the more popular lines within Junghans' collection. But that's not to diminish this timepiece, as I do believe it is a bit of a more unique play for Junghans while remaining pretty constant and true to what their design approach should be. It's a great looking piece, sapphire crystal, reliable EDIC movement inside will give you some nice value if you are looking for a watch of this style. The Taupe dials really do offer a bit of flair and difference compared to the rest of their catalog. And when looking at, honestly, the entire marketplace for around $1,000, give or take, you're going to be hard-pressed to find something else that looks exactly like this. And I think that's a good thing. It's unique, but also looks very tasteful when looking at it down on the wrist. Now, the 21mm lug width could be a challenge for many people out there. I would probably recommend trying to fit a 22mm strap in there, but given the Taupe dial in this instance, the level of versatility that you're going to have with straps is not going to be the same as if you went for the silver dial variant. But overall, this is a fantastic watch from Junghans in the price range that it occupies. And the biggest challenge that it has is just coming out of the shadow a bit of course, the more popular Max Bill designs, but it does it in a different way, and I don't think it's really walking to the same beat as those anyway. All right, guys, well, thank you again so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, it was helpful, thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. Also, if you are in the market to purchase this watch, link in the description to TeddyBaldassarre.com, full authorized dealer of all the brands we carry, quick and fast fulfillment, dedicated customer service, factory warranty for all the products that we carry. So if something goes wrong, you are completely covered and don't have to pay the bill for it. We also offer price match. So if you see one of our watches for cheaper at another authorized dealer, we'll give you a call if you fill out the form on the product page. And finally, 9 out of every $10 that we generate from our store goes right back into the content that we're creating. But guys, thank you again so much for watching. Be well, and I'll see you all very soon.